Alright, so our Nanaimo bar base and our peanut butter topping have been in the fridge overnight, but as I mentioned earlier, you can just put it in for a couple hours, just so that they're nice and cool until it's set. What I've got over here is my stand mixer, and I've got 2/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. Now you can whip it by hand. Just make sure you got the arm strength for it, because we need to beat this till stiff peaks. Till when you can see tracks in it. So basically, in a stand mixer it might take about 5 minutes, but if you do it by hand it might take 10. So I'm just going to pour this in. Alright, so we have our mixture in there, and I'm going to put this down, and I am going to beat this on high speed for about 5 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's at stiff peaks. Alright, so our mixture, as you can see how it's got tracks in there, and I'll just grab a spatula here. You can see this is the consistency you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. So we've got our whipped cream. So the next step, I'm going to remove it all from the batter, and we are going to incorporate 1/4 of this mixture of the whipping cream in with our peanut butter filling. So I'll just show you that right now. Alright, so I've got 1/4 of my mixture here, and I'm simply going to fold it into this gelatin mixture. I know it looks awkward, and it doesn't look all that appealing right now, but just keep folding it in. The reason we're folding it in is so that we don't deflate the cream that we just whipped. And once it's relatively incorporated, which will be in just a second or so, we will add in the remaining whipping cream. So as I mentioned, just 1/4 of it. It was what we want just originally, just to combine. And the folding motion is side up, kind of side up like that, side up, side up. So I'm going to add in a bit more. This is the mixture once it's incorporated, once you've incorporated all of the whipped cream, and it just looks fantastic. So what I'm going to do now is pour this over the square pan, and what we're going to have to do is let it go in the refrigerator to set for 6 hours, or preferably overnight. I'm going to put it in overnight, and I will show you what it looks like once it's done, and we will dig in. So I have now taken the squares out of the fridge. As you can see, this is what they look like, and they just look fantastic. As an added garnish, or if you would like, you can top it with a bit of cocoa powder, just like so. Just going to tap it over the top. And there you go. Now I've got a plate right here, as you can see, and I'll just top a little bit. And now I'm going to take a taste for you. Oops. There we go. I'm going in, finally. It is so good. It's so nice, the contrast of the chewy base with the nice soft creamy topping, and the flavors just go so well together. As you know, chocolate and peanut butter always do. Yeah, so I definitely recommend this. So these can be covered and stored. Now, as an added bonus, if this dessert is not rich enough for you, what you can do is make a ganache for the top of it. And if you wanted to add a ganache to the top of it, you wouldn't cut it into squares. You would make the ganache, pour it over the top, and then put it in the fridge until it sets. One recommendation I would have for this recipe, and it's actually a bit of a fast track option for you too, is if you would like to speed up the process, You can put these squares in the freezer once you've added the peanut butter filling or peanut butter topping on top of the Nanaimo base. And not only will it set faster, but the top will be firmer. One of the things I found about these when I was cutting them up was that the topping was still quite soft even after putting them in the fridge overnight. So I would actually recommend putting them in the freezer. But if they're in the fridge, they're still great. I just had some and it's absolutely delicious, so I would definitely recommend that you give this recipe a try. I hope you enjoyed it, and please let me know what you think down below.